Question 6, Part A. Work out, Part 1, 10% of 320. 10% is just 1/10, so we need to divide 320 by 10. Because there's a 0 on the end, we can just take off the 0, so the answer is 32. Part 2, 40% of 320. Well, we can use our answer to Part 1. We could, for example, say 20% of 320 is 2 lots of 10%. So it's going to be 2 times 32. 2 times 30 is 60. 2 times 2 is 4. So that will be 64. Then we can say 40% is 2 lots of 20%. So we want 2 times 64. 2 times 60 is 120. 2 times 4 is 8. 120 plus 8 gives us 128. Alternatively, you could say 40% is 4 times 10%. So we could say 4 times 32. 4 times 30 is 120. 4 times 2 is 8. So we again get 120 plus 8, giving us 128. Part 3. 5% of 320. Well, 5% is half of 10%. So we just divide 32 by 2, and that gives us 16. Part B. There are 320 students in Year 10 in a school. 35% of these students come to school by bus. How many students come to school by bus? Whilst this question was generally well answered, most students started from scratch rather than using the answers they got in Part A. We can say that 35% of 320 is equal to 40% of 320 minus 5% of 320. Then using these answers, we get 128 minus 16. 128 minus 10 will be 118, and then we've got to subtract the 6, giving us 112. Alternatively, you could say 35% is 3 lots of 10%, 32 plus 32 plus 32, plus 1 lot of 5%, so plus 16. 32 plus 32 is 64. 64 plus 32 is 96. 96 plus 16, well, adding the 10 on we get 106, plus 6 we get 112 as before.